afternoon,
Yes.
Tauqueer. How are you?
So yes, yes. Thank you for asking, ma'am. I'm doing great by the grace of Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. And what
Mhm.
about you, ma'am? How was your day so far? And it is
So
morning
far,
time over here.
no.
I would like to thank you, ma'am, for accepting my request and giving me this wonderful opportunity.
Okay.
I have been, looking for your conversation with you for a long time, but unfortunately, we didn't, we didn't connect. But finally, we have connected right now. So it's my
Yes.
privilege to having a conversation with you, and delighted to meet you, ma'am. Uh, and I would like to tell you one thing, ma'am. We are meeting for very first time on this application, so we should introduce
Yes.
ourselves. So first of all, I would
Yes.
like to know about you, then I will introduce myself if you want to know about me.
Okay, sure, sure. And before that, the pleasure is all mine. And I would like to thank you as well for sending me the request and to want to have this conversation. Okay. So I would like to introduce myself. As you know, my name is Mahsina and I am talking to you from Assam. And I am a homemaker. I have a neat family, my husband, me, and my two children. Apart from that, I guide some learners and I have started my YouTube channel by the name English with Mohsina, where I try to upload some solo videos, some conversational videos as well, where I try to impart my knowledge related to English, whatever I have. And when it comes to my hobbies, I love reading books, talking to different people, and spending quality time with my children. This is all about me in a nutshell. Thank you.
Oh, that sounded really incredible, ma'am. The way you introduced yourself, it was quite inspiring and interesting. And whatever you speak in English, it was quite spontaneous. But nowadays I'm
Okay.
speaking, it's not as spontaneous. It is the practical. But I want
Practical
to
is.
speak spontaneous, just like you.
Mhm. It will definitely
So
happen. Yeah, you
yeah.
introduce. So when did you start your learning journey of English, and how did it come in your mind to create your own YouTube channel as well?
Oh, that sounded really incredible, ma'am. When I came to here, at that time, I faced so many problems over here because, at that time, I was not able to speak in English confidently, how to
Mhm.
express my thought and how to elaborate my thought, whatever inculcate in my mind, any
Mhm.
stuff, any topic. And at that time, I used to, have communicate with supplier from various countries, that, like I mentioned you.
Mhm.
So at that time, I have decided, and also I have seen one people.
Mhm.
He has a good at English and he speaks a spontaneous, articulate, whatever he speak in English. So I inspired from him, and at that time, I used to imagine about that. I used to
Mhm.
imagine about that.
Mhm.
How can he speak in English? How can he narrate their thought? And how
Mhm.
can he learn this language? If he can learn this language, if he can narrate their thoughts, why not? I can also learn this language. I
Yes,
can also overcome in English. So finally,
definitely.
I have decided, and I have started my journey on that day.
Okay.
So at that time, I didn't have knowledge how to make conversation videos, how to do practice, where to start, how to start. But because I was totally immersed in learning this language at that time, and I was curious, and I was a very passionate at that time. How
Mhm.
to enhance my communication skills exponentially. So I have started my journey on that day, and I used to do practice on audio calling application at that time. That
Okay.
application. And apart from this, no, ma'am, I used to do practice on that. There are 5 applications at that time because I
Okay.
was totally immersed in learning this language.
Mhm.
So I used to do practice each and every day, 1 hour, 1.5 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours at least after my office. You
Okay.
can say it was my passion, it was my curiosity, it was my routine. But what
Mhm.
happens while I while I talk with audio calling,
Audio.
at that time I used to get full confidence because
Mm.
if you do
Mhm.
practice on audio calling, at that time no one person see you, your facial expression,
Yes.
your body language, your gesture, the way you
True.
narrate, the way you express your thought. But if you do practice on video calling, the person see you, your body language, your facial expression, your gesture, whatever you
Mm.
elaborate your thought, whatever you demonstrate your thought. So what happens while I interact with people, while I interact with superior than me, at that time I used to get feel nervous and I
Hmm.
used to get feel upset and I
Mm-hmm.
forget it each and everything at that time. So at that time, I have decided if I make conversation videos, if I start my journey on video calling application, so I think I will be able to express my thought easily. I will be able
Mm-hmm.
to speak in confidently. So that's the reason I have started my journey on video calling application. So I have been using this application 1.5 months approximately, and I'm
Oh,
getting confidence from this application. I'm enhancing my communication from this application, and I have talked with so many YouTuber, speaker, co-learner on this application. So it was my
great.
journey, man.
That's nice. And oh, nice, nice. I haven't heard because I don't explore many things. I was using only one application that was Ace Fluency. In Indian people, mostly Indian people, they can use it. So I don't try to explore many things. If I like something, try to stick to that thing only. And I joined some tutors and I made some friends, female friends, through Ace Fluency application, and then we started practicing with each other through video call, through audio call. So that's
But
why
I
I'm.
have used so many audio calling applications to enhance my
Mm,
communication skills because I was totally immersed in learning this language.
mm,
How can I enhance my communication skills exponentially anyhow? So that's the reason
mm.
I have used so many applications.
So what do you think? People say that now we don't have an ambience of speaking English language. Now see that there are so many applications, even people can use for free as well. So do you think that is it too much difficult to learn this language nowadays?
My personal experience is that it is not huge language. It is not
Yes.
you can say
Mm-hmm.
also a cup of tea. But
Mm-hmm.
if you have a passion, if you have a determination, your
Mm.
dedication, your hard work, and your curiosity, so you can do anything, you can achieve anything in the world because everything is possible. Depend on
Mm.
you what do you want to explore, what do you want to find out.
Mm.
So
Mm-hmm.
depend on your and if you have a belief in yourself, so you can do easily because
Yes.
this is my personal experience. I didn't have a knowledge, I didn't have an expectation. I
Mm-hmm.
speak in English, but finally I'm speaking English. So it is proud of myself.
Mm.
At that time, when I started learning this language, at that time I used to think about that, how to make
Mm-hmm.
sentence, how to talk
Mm-hmm.
with YouTuber and a speaker tutor. At that time I used to only imagine about it. But
Okay.
nowadays I have approached, I have started approaching superior than me YouTuber speaker, and
Mm-hmm.
simultaneously I have talked with so many
What
YouTubers.
is your experience that when you started talking to these YouTubers, how did you feel in that time and now today as you are talking to me, how are you feeling? Is there any change you have realized about yourself?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Okay.
When I had my first conversation with Santa man, at that time,
Mm,
it was vast conversation with me, with mine, because at that time, I didn't have knowledge in English that much at that time, and
mm,
at that time, I was totally nervous. How can I
mm,
express my thought? And he is a new notable speaker.
mm.
So he is a famous speaker and YouTuber.
YouTuber.
So at
Mm,
that time, at that time, I was totally nervous and it was
mm,
what conversation with me. So
mm. Okay.
I have after that conversation with her,
Mm,
Mr. Santaman, I have realized that if
mm.
I start my journey talking with YouTuber speaker, so I can enhance my communication skills and I can remove my hesitation. Whatever I get
Hesitation.
feel nervous,
Mm,
whatever I
mm,
get feel hesitation. So
mm.
I can review my hesitation, whatever comes in my mind, anything. So that's the
True.
reason I have started my journey. And nowadays, I am totally confident. I can
Mm,
interact with anyone, I can talk with anyone, and I can
great.
express my thoughts easily in front of anyone.
Mm. That's a great thing, and it happened to everyone. Not only English, when we do something new in our life, we don't feel comfortable. When we start learning, for example, learning how to drive a car or ride a scooter bike, learning swimming, we don't feel comfortable, right? We have the fear. We become so much conscious. For example, maybe it happened to you as well that when you started learning driving car or maybe riding the bike, you were so
Definitely.
conscious. Maybe I will fall, I have to like pick that gear in this number, or but when you do it regularly, it becomes subconscious. You don't need to think much. So when it comes to language as well, it also takes some time, but unless and until you take the initiative to do that, we can never feel comfortable, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I acknowledge your point, ma'am, and I'm totally agree with your point. And I want to ask you something about you.
Okay.
Being a YouTuber, being an English content creator, being a good at English, whatever you
Hmm.
speak in English, whatever you demonstrate your thought, it is quite spontaneous.
Hmm.
And so that's the reason I'm asking you.
Hmm.
So what would you like to suggest me based on it? And because why I'm asking you, because I want to speak a spontaneous, articulate information with rhythm, whatever I speak in English. And I want to become a fluent speaker. I want to become an inspiration of my village. I want to
Hmm.
get prominence in my future.
Hmm.
So that's the reason I'm asking you. So whatever I speak in English, whatever I narrate my thoughts, so where I make mistake,
Hmm.
and I'm speaking very speed, whatever I speak in
Yes.
English.
Yes, there should be a little
So
bit
would you like
rhythm,
to suggest me something
pause.
about me?
So first thing is that we need to be a good observer. When it comes to me, I observe good speakers. How do they speak? And one thing I always had in my mind, taking the pause. It happens. Even I was also speaking too fast in my initial days. I can't say that the way now I talk, I was talking the same way. No. But somehow I had that in my mind. We need to take pause, rhythm, then high pitch, low pitch. And what helped me, I can say reading books. I read book aloud. There where there is a full stop, comma, I try to take the pause. If there is a question, I try to read like this way. I'm asking the question in real life. And when I listen to some good speakers, I try to observe them, paying the 100% attention. And I don't try to watch many contents at a time. If I find someone good, I stick to that person only. And it had helped me. And when it comes to speaking spontaneously, it takes some time. So it's been 2.5 years. I have been practicing English. I have been talking to people. So that is why now English has become a piece of cake for me. I feel comfortable. I am confident enough. And I don't need to translate. I don't translate in my mind. One another thing, I don't know whether you do it or not. Try to talk to yourself, not only loudly, even in your mind. So plethora of thoughts come in our mind. We think many things each and every time, right? So try to think in your mind in English. So once you are able to think in English, you will be able to speak in English spontaneously, effortlessly. So if you follow this thing, then it will become easy for you. And try to pick one topic, then record yourself. Or just keeping the mobile in front of you, you can describe whatever comes in your mind. So that will be your practice, because you have to evaluate yourself. As you are making these videos these days, you are connecting to people. After making the video, try to evaluate how did you speak. Did you speak too fast? Did you make grammatical errors? Then next time you have to keep in your mind, okay, I have to become little bit slower. My body gesture was not that much pretty good, so I have to work on that part. You shouldn't take it so seriously, or you shouldn't pressurize yourself, but you should be a little bit cautious and focus. So by focusing, by doing the practice repeatedly, gradually you will improve. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your right suggestion. Inshallah, I will work upon it. Now that I'm working, I have been working on this because now that I'm following so many YouTubers, good at English, they have a good at English. They speak
Hmm.
a spontaneous, articulate intonation, whatever they narrate their thoughts. but
mm,
it is my habitual, so that's the reason I'm
mm.
speaking
If you ask them,
speed experience.
when you connect to a good speaker, if you ask them that how long have you been speaking English, they will say 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, 18 years. So that's why they are in this position. So when it comes to getting that position, it takes time. But you should try to think about your progress. That am I progressing? Right now, the way I'm talking, how did I talk 5 months ago, or 6 months ago, or 3 months ago? If you see that you are progressing, that means you are in right track. But if you see that no, still I'm in the same position, then you need to introspect w- what you have to change. Okay? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, and thank you for your precious time. I didn't expect that. It was enthralling conversation with you. It was nice conversation with you, and mashallah, that's great, ma'am. You have so many accountabilities. Despite of you have to do manage each and everything. So you are inspiration for those who are want to explore something new, who are want to enhance their communication skills and aptitude. I
Mm.
greatly appreciate you the way you narrate your thought, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Takir.
Okay,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. For it was
Thank you.
enthralling conversation with you. Maybe this video would be productive for those who are want
Hmm.
to enhance their communication skills and aptitude. So it was enthralling conversation with you, ma'am, and thank you for your precious time.
The pleasure is
Okay, ma'am,
all mine.
and pray for me.
Yeah. Okay, then,
Master.
Takir, it was really nice talking to you. Thank you so much
Thank you.
again. Mhm.
Thank you, ma'am, and thank you for your precious time. Which I got your precious time. So it might be privilege, and it was delighted to meet you. And
Mm.
if you want to share your thought for my audience, because I want to upload this video on my YouTube channel. If you allow
Yeah,
me, and if you don't
definitely you
allow,
can.
so no
There
problem.
is no problem. You can upload on your YouTube channel as well. Yeah.
Okay. So if you want to share your thought, something for beginners, for learners, so you can share.
Okay. So for beginners, I would say that first of all, don't become skeptical about your potential. Think that English is just a language. As you are able to speak your mother tongue or other language as well. Nowadays, see, as we have the smartphone, we can learn anything. Just our mindset should be positive. Just believe in yourself that if other people can speak in English, I can also speak in English. After that, my suggestion will be start listening English contents. Don't listen to contents in your mother tongue. Or if you like to watch Hindi movies, don't watch. At least for till that time, you don't feel that now I am able to speak in English. Switch everything. For example, when you are texting to someone, try to write in English. It also helps. I also do it, and I did it a lot. Then don't watch many contents in a day because quality matters rather than quantity. So once you watch, mostly I'm telling to the beginners, watch one content repeatedly, at least thrice or more than 3 times, until and unless you don't understand. Then try to learn some vocabulary. For the beginners, I suggest that try to learn the vocabulary whatever you see inside your home. Try to speak loudly whatever the things you can see. Then try to make some basic sentences. Then talk to yourself standing in front of the mirror. Then record yourself. Then nowadays, see, lots of platforms are there. If you are able to talk to different people, then start talking to them. Read some books. Reading also help a lot. After that, writing also helps. So try to write your daily routine, little bit, whatever you can. And apart from that, if you think that I need some help from some tutor, so you can also join for a couple of months, because initially it happens, it becomes quite difficult if you don't have the environment. So these are the suggestions only I can give, because after all we know that to learn a language, if we don't have the ambience, if we don't have the environment of real life, no one speaks in English, then we need to acquire these skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So try to make a schedule that in a day, at least I'm going to listen and watch contents for this time. Then For 30 minutes I'm going to speak, for 15 minutes I'm going to write, and 15 minutes I'm going to read. And consistency matters a lot. If you are practicing today for 3 hours and next today you are not practicing, then it will not work. So make a schedule according to your um, feasibility, I can say conveniency, because I don't know your routine, what are the works you are doing. So you need to make a plan, just practice regularly. Don't be shy to open your mouth. If you make mistake, it is okay, because everyone makes mistakes in our initial days, and from mistakes we learn. Yeah.
Wow, that's great, man. That sounded really incredible and really the way you express your heart. And And I personally believe in that if they follow, they implement these are aspects, crucial aspects, so they will be able to speak in English. They will be able to enhance their communication skills and aptitude.